Gore and Bill Clinton. I'm saying, why didn't America stop using e-voting then?
Exactly.
They continued. But what you do is, okay, let's correct this part of it that perhaps allowed for this thing to happen. And that's what you do. But the aim should be about evolving and not sticking to the old analog pattern of doing this. Because I must say, one time we were using the post office, night post, right? Which is not very used these days anymore. The efficiency of it was usually in doubt. And then the internet came in, mobile phones came in. It has its own issues as well, electromagnetic waves, and then it could cause the radiation, blah blah blah. We still use it. Why didn't most of us were saying what we're saying now? Why didn't we say, okay, no, we're sticking with writing letters and sending them and waiting for 3 days or 1 week for it to get to its destination first, and buying stamps? Did you buy stamps?
The truth is that sometimes change can be scary. So I might understand with people who feel that, this would be like a whole new level of problems and all of that. But then, when you want to look at things, you look at the disadvantages and advantages. I mean, if the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, then I don't see why we shouldn't go with it.
All right, let's take one more call before we wrap things up on the first half. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Andrew, and your voice in the studio.
Good afternoon.
Okwando Obi is my name.
Okay, Obina, go ahead.
Yes, I want to talk about the issue of Sowore and the PSS. I think the issue here is more of a security matter than a legal matter. You can see what the government is spending prosecuting the insurgents in the northeast. And Sowore was among made very damaging incitements against the government and against the security agencies. So I don't expect the government to sit and look at him or consider what the law is saying.
So you're saying the government should ignore the law?
My brother, the president has said it before, that when issues of national security and that of our fundamental rights, we will consider the security first. So Sowore, with his statements, we are very, very damaging. So government and the DSS are very, very careful to let him out of the bag.
You don't think that the courts would have been in a better position to understand these things?
You said?
I mean, the court.
Who should decide what is the threat to national security? Who should decide? Because the way you put it is almost like if the president wakes up tomorrow and says that this other person is national security, that's it. And then we can hold that person down for as long as we want.
No. We are here when Sowore was telling us that that there will be no DSS, that he will go to Abuja and overthrow the president. Where didn't you hear it?
Okay, that's what I'm saying now. So because he says that, and we are right that in this country people have even made more damning statements and more inciting statements in this very country, and they are walking free.
I don't think that because other people have said it, we allow other people to be making that statement.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Sowore is reaping what he sold for. So
all right, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, he's still a human being, though. If Evans is still being looked at the way he's been looked at, and there's not been, then I don't think Evans and Sowore now for looking at national security. Like I would say, Evans is national security, or the kidnapper, the kingpin in Taraba State.
Or vicious David West.
We don't know where these guys are. So if you're saying that these people commit crimes of this manner, and then you're saying, this is how it should be. For me, I feel like if they want to hold him, I'm not against them holding him. But there's a due process. There's a way you can do it within the laws to hold him and keep him there. And everybody would not say you did foul. Nobody would cry foul. Everybody would say you followed due process. Well, we'll take a short break and go for the news update. When we return to the second half, we'll talk about United Nations World Children's Day. A lot happening in Nigeria. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon, and here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Ifeemi Andrew. The Nigerian Senate has passed the finance bill into law. The Senate passed the bill during plenary after it scaled through the third reading on the floor of the Senate. The bill, which comprises 7 bills, seeks to amend 6 tax provisions and make them more responsive to tax reform policies. It also seeks to amend the Customs and Excise Tariff Acts to encourage local manufacturers. The legislations under the bill include Companies Income Tax, Value-Added Tax, Customs and Excise Tariff, Capital Gains Tax Act, Petroleum Profits Tax, Personal Income Tax, and Stamp Duties Act. And now, Kano State High Court has nullified the appointment and creation of 4 additional emirates in Kano State. Justice Usman Naaba ruled that due process was not followed in the creation of the emirates. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje had earlier in May assented the bill seeking the establishment of 4 additional first-class emirates, Rano, Gaya, Karaya, and Bichin in Kano State. Ganduje assented the bill following its passage by the Kano State House of Assembly. And the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the final forfeiture to the federal government, the sum of 280.5 million naira, traced to Obinwanne Okeke, popularly known as Evictus Obi. Justice Rilwan Aikiwa made the order following the submissions by the counsel to the EFCC, Rotimi Oyedepo. The EFCC had told the court that the funds were warehoused in the Nigerian bank accounts of Invictus Oil and Gas Limited and Invictus Investment Limited, respectively. The anti-graft agency had also said the 2 firms were owned by Invictus Obi, whom it described as a strong leader of a cybercrime syndicate that specializes in business email compromise. 31-year-old Obi was arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation August 2019 in the United States for allegedly defrauding some American citizens in 2018 to the tune of $11 million. And the suspected serial killer Gracious David West has changed his plea from guilty to not guilty in a 9-count charge of murder while sustaining his not guilty plea in an attempted murder charge before a high court in Rivers State. In 9 of the 10 counts charged, David West is accused of killing 15 women in various hotels in Rivers State, while the 10th charge accused him of attempted murder. The second accused person, Nimi Tangod, who is a manager in one of the hotels where the crimes were committed, is alleged to have dumped the remains of one patient, Omo, after she was killed in a hotel in Port Harcourt. She, however, pleaded not guilty. Counsel to David West, Vincent Chukwu, applied for bail for his client, but was opposed by counsel to the state government, A.K. Chidi. The trial judge, Justice Adolphus Anebeli, however, granted bail to the second accused with a sum of 500,000 naira and a surety with a deposit of 4 passports and address that must be verified by the court. Our correspondent Uchendu Rijawa reports that the trial judge adjourned till 9th, 11th, 13th, 15th, 19th, and 20th of December for hearing. Speaking outside the courtroom, counsel to the Rivers State government welcomed the decision of the court to have a speedy hearing. On his part, counsel to the second accused person, Edward Obioko, said his client is innocent of the crime she has been accused of. And on the foreign scene, a lawyer representing some of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, Gloria Allred, says the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, should put himself forward to be interviewed by United States investigators. Allred questioned Prince Andrew's pledge that he would assist with probes into the convicted sex offender if required. She urged him to contact U.S. authorities without conditions and without delay. Her comments come hours after the Duke announced his stepping down from royal duties over the scandal. In a statement announcing his decision, Prince Andrew said the ordeal had become a major disruption to the royal family and that he is willing to help any appropriate law enforcement agency with their investigations. And that's it on the news update for the hour. Thank you for your time and bye-bye for now.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today.